Howdy, y'all. King Louie here, and today I have another game for you called Choice of the Pirate. Now, Choice of the Pirate is in a collection of games by Elena Jolie Abbott called the Choice series. There are a bunch of them. There's Choice of the, I think it was Magician, Choice of Alexandria, and Choice of the Pirate, as well as a few others. Now, very cheap game. It's like a choose your own adventure book, basically. So there's a whole lot of reading, and it's extremely fun in my personal opinion. So I wanted to share this game with you guys. I wanted to show y'all how I personally play, all the fun I have with it, and hopefully we can enjoy it together. So without further ado, let's start with Chapter 1, Scurvy Knaves. A cannonball hits the water astern your ship's hull. The resulting splash soaks your clothing. You drag your sleeve across your forehead, succeeding only in spreading the water around. Could be worse, says the unflappable Caesar Lord. Your That's presumptuous. Your closest friend, a huge dark-skinned pirate who towers over you and the rest of the crew. They could have better aim. It's true. Your ship's last loaded cannon fires, drowning him out for the moment, fouling the air with smoke and brimstone. Luckily, the cannon didn't explode. Unfortunately, your cannonball also missed, and now you're out of gunpowder. You called that a hit, you landlubbers? That's awful. I'm so sorry. I apologize for that. Screams your captain, the notorious and cruel Captain Blackguard. It's unfounded criticism. Even he must know that the way the ships are closing on in each other, there's no clear shot for a broadside. And for that, you should all be grateful. Prepare to board, ye scurvy knaves, and make your peace with Davy Jones, for you'll either send our enemies to him or see him yourself. The flag on the ship trading fire with you bears a skull and crossbones with a rose clutched in his grinning teeth. How romantic. It's the flag of Captain Adelaide Briar. But why do you recognize it? Why do you recognize it personally? I try to sign on to her crew. The crown despises her, and so do I. Captain Blackguard told us we're after her ransom. Get that sweet, sweet cash. Yeah, that ransom would be nice, wouldn't it? Sure thing, ransom. And really, what the captain says is the guiding force in your life at this point, like it or not. The Crown, in its ongoing efforts to rid the Lucayan Sea of pirates, has put bounties on pirate ships, setting pirates against each other in hopes of making legitimate money or earning their pardons and letters of marque. Blackbeard and Captain Adelaide Briar have a long history. The stories told in the port of San Alfonso, the pirate haven a few miles south, said they were once lovers until Blackguard's obsession with finding the treasure of Ishmael the Lost came between them. Briar mutinied against Blackguard, stole his ship and crew, and marooned him. Other stories put Blackguard as less of a victim, claiming that he went mad with rage when he found out Briar had hidden a map from him that would have led to the treasure, nearly killing her and half his crew before coming to his senses. When he's out of hearing, other pirates call him Blackguard the Bloody. Well, out of hearing, that sounds like an amazing name. It sounds like a cool name, really. Just the name a pirate would want to have. Blackguard is nearly as obsessed with destroying Briar as he is with finding Ishmael's legendary treasure. Choose an obvious choice for his first bounty target. This is our first one? It ain't going too well. Alright, here we go. We got another choice coming up. Wind round, or wind round, north to east, Blackguard shouts, and your crew tacks as the ship's Camiate, your weather mage, calls a gust of wind, bringing the ships nearly side by side. No mercy! Blackguard screams. Smart move. The ships groan in protest as their hulls collide. Caesar, who, despite ship's tradition, has long insisted you call him by a certain name, claps you on the back. See you on the other side, he says, and it's both a promise and a command. Wouldn't miss it, you say lightly. Caesar grins as he takes a leap across onto the enemy ship, not bothering with the grappling hooks your mates are using to draw the ships together. Pirates of Briar's crew swing over from their rigging, and it won't be long before both ships have erupted into combat. And there you are, standing at the rail. How did you get into this mess? Mess. This is what I live for. Piracy. A life of freedom and plunder. Took a job with Blackguard to avoid being arrested by the Crown. I hired on with Blackguard to avoid being conscripted in the Navy. I was captured by pirates as a youth and haven't found a way to free myself. Or Blackguard gave me the option to sign on to his crew or walk the plank. That's for sound boring. It's a pirate's life for me. And this ain't a mess at all. This is what it's all about. The plunder, the fear, the bravery, the action. guns and swords and gold. That's what pirate life is about. It's a pirate's life for you. That's what I said. The thrill of battle, the excitement of the chase, the grog, the romance, everything about life at sea, out from under the tyranny of the crown's strict rule, appeals to you. Everything that is, except for Captain Blackguard. As tyrants go, he's not much better than the crown. If you had enough gold to buy your own ship and to get out your contract with Blackguard, you know you'd be a much better captain than he is. And really, gold and freedom are all it takes to be a pirate captain, which is why there's such a low bar for entry. What is it you despise most about Blackguard? Is it that he's cruel to his shipmates? Very deplorable. Is it his stingy sharing of our plunder? Very greedy. Or is it that he's just not a very skilled pirate? I mean, incompetence is just not acceptable in this day and age. I'd say his cruelty to my shipmates. You gotta treat your fellow man with respect and care, especially when they're kind of fighting side by side with you. His cruelty to his shipmates. Alright. I don't know what that did. Wait, actually, let's see. Show stats. Okay, Ye. Name a name. Moniker none. Flagship none. Flag none. Signature clothing none. Man, we are quite the scallywag. Okay, so I'm a pirate. Got goodwill. Okay. That's interesting. Landlord's guide to terms. Alright, return to the game. The violence Blackguard doles out so casually to his own crew is hard to accept. He flogs sailors for the slightest offense, or for no offense at all, other than being in the captain's path when he's in a rage. You've been on the wrong end of his beatings only a few times, while Caesar's taking more than his share, poor guy. You've tried to convince your friend that it's not his duty to protect the other sailors, and he always assures you that this time will be the last time he stands between the captain and his sailors, until, of course, the next time, and you end up dressing his wounds after the fact. The two of you have long agreed that something should be done about your cruel master, but you've both fallen short of suggesting immunity, for now. Might be easier to stomach Blackguard's violent excesses if he were a good captain, or if you could get rid serving him, but he's not an inspiring leader, nor a competent sailor. Which of his traits frustrate you the most? He's a bully, but his combat lacks finesse. He's about as sneaky as a cannonball. He wouldn't know diplomacy if it bit him. He's frankly an awful sailor, and he doesn't even understand what our cabiante, our weather mage, does. But, neither do I, so let's calm down on the last one. Out of all these, I'd say it's just, if you're going to be a captain, you got to know how to sail. So he's frankly not, you don't need to sneak around your own ship. Diplomacy, you got gold, you're fine. And, you can be a bully without finesse. But, come on now, you got to know how to sail. You're taking a peek at Blackguard's charts, and you're not sure he even knows how to use a compass. He calls for more sail when you ought to be taking it in. And in a storm a few weeks ago, he left sailors aloft so long that he risked all their lives. It's amazing his ship is still floating. Maybe today will be the day that Blackguard meets his fate, if we're lucky. But in the meantime, you've got to be sure you don't head off early to yours. Two of Briar's pirates swing onto the deck next to you. You've no time to clear the rail into Briar's ship next to Caesar. You're in the middle of battle. What do? Do I want to use my pistol and cutlass, the real pirate way, or will I use magic to fight unconventionally because apparently I'm a mage? Well, there's all fair in combat, especially cheating. Or I use my knowledge of the ship to take my advantage, or I try to talk my way out of combat. Come on now, pistol and cutlass, that's all we need. That's all we want. That's what the pirate life is about. Cheating is also fun, though. Yeah, well, they're already drawn. Might as well use them. Yar! You're known around Blackbeard's crew or Blackguard's crew as one of the fiercest fighters, and today will be no different. You fire at one of Briar's pilots, slaying him before his feet touch the deck. You slash your cutlass across the other's neck. Both men fall where they stand. Though the battle only took seconds, the scene around you has changed in the meantime, and the air is full of gunpowder. One of the cambiantes, either Briar's or your own, you're not sure, shifts the wind. Both ships tack without the sailors being ready for it. You and everyone else stagger to keep your balance. You see Blackguard engaged in duel with one of Briar's pirates, a tall woman who is Briar's first mate, you guess, near the steering wheel, not far from you. Blackguard is hard-pressed. Maybe he really has met his match this time. Unfortunately, if he dies, Briar might turn the crew into the crown for Blackguard's bounty. If Blackguard and the bait both die, that's few problems solved. Care what happens to Cruise once Blackguard is killed, or I defend my captain to the end. He sucks. He really does. He's not a very good captain, but he is my captain. And I don't know the other folk. Better an enemy you know than enemy you don't. So I'm going to defend him to the end, and who knows, might get a little something for it. Next. You're a loyal member of this crew, and even if Blackguard's a disgrace to pirates everywhere, he is your captain. Also, you don't want to die, and there are always ways of that saving the captain's life could turn to your advantage. The question becomes, just how will you intervene to save his life? Like I handle most problems, with my sword. I use my magic to rot the deck beneath the mate's foot. That's also a possibility, but it's kind of, you don't want to rot your own ship. I sneak up on Briar's mate and club her from behind. I stamp on one end of a loose plank to trip up the captain's foe. That's like some Tom and Jerry strategy. All the captain needs is a moment's distraction. I hurl insults at Briar's first mate. I think he's got that covered. Um, I don't want to be sneaky. I like the whole sword, the swashbuckling captain, the greatest swordsman on the seas. That's who I want to be. So I'm gonna handle it like that with my sword. Boom. You lunge in behind Briar's first mate, forcing her to fight both of you at once. She's a talented swordsman. You don't give her that. But she can't cut you and guard her back from Blackguard. You stab down at her and she raises her own sword to guard, just as Blackguard's sword pierces straight through her chest. Blackguard takes a moment to assess the rest of the battle before approaching. Good work, sailor. Now you can tell that, despite his good cheer, he doesn't recall your name. And through the grime and the salt caked on your tunic, he's not entirely sure of your gender either. And that's just how I intend it. Or am I a woman, man, da-da-da. No, personally, I am a man, and my character is going to be too. Next. What's your given name? Weibana. Nigo. Bartolome. Bartolome sounds hilarious. Jack. Weibana. Bartolome. I like Bartolome. Bart. Alright. Bartolome the pirate. And what's your silver name? Bartolome de Loya. Yes. Bartolome del Mar. That's the pirate. That's how it's going. Bartolome del Mar. One day, with enough fame or infamy, you'll earn a moniker. But for now, you are only Bartolome del Mar, a lowly sailor your captain couldn't be bothered to remember. But the way he's looking at you now, you can tell he'll remember just what you've done. You hear the familiar sound of incantations in the old island language, my pure, as both your cambiante and cambiante on Briar's ship chant to try and control the weather and sky around you. Dueling winds never bode well for the sailors between, no kidding, and this time is no different. Before either you or Captain Blackguard can leap back into the fray, a terrible scream of grinding holes cut across the deck as the winds push the ships into each other. A breath later, and the air explodes around you, flattening everyone to the quivering deck. The winds do not stop. The ships push into each other, and the air tears at their hulls until it's clear that both ships are going to shake themselves to pieces. Abandoning the ship is the only thing to do. But rather than ordering the crew to flee, Blackguard is swearing up a storm, cursing at his now unconscious cambiante to fix things. Not gonna happen, Chief. The air holding you to the deck releases, and you have time to move. But where will you go? Where is there to go on a sinking ship? Let's find out. Blackguard's cabin is saved the chart. Forget the chart. If you're good enough sailor, you'll figure it out. Below deck, make sure everybody gets out. The cargo hold, retrieve what treasure I can save himself. The dinghy. Get me out of here. We are trying to get loyalty around here. So below deck, make sure everybody gets out. It's the right thing to do. And we're good pirates. We're honorable pirates. Most of the crew were on deck for battle, but it's possible somebody is still in the berth deck or worse, hiding in the hold. You can in good conscience abandon ship while there might still be people on it. The deck trembles beneath your feet as you storm down the ladder get below decks. The berth deck isn't very much better. You can see the leaks already springing through the hull, and the groan of the wood beneath you makes it clear that she's not going to last much longer. You listen to the gallery like a seasick landlubber and spot the ship's cook cowering amongst his pots and pans. There isn't anyone else on the aft end of the berth deck, unless they're hiding in the captain's cabin behind the locked door. Get on deck, yelled the cook, but he doesn't seem to hear you. Well, he didn't hear me first time. I could yell and try it some more. Force him above, offer comforting words, and welcome. I ain't got time for that guy. Force him above. If you can't save his own neck, you'll pull him out yourself. He's a portly old sailor and he's too heavy to carry, but you yank him forward. As soon as you got him in motion, he cooperates, following along blindly until you're both above. You think you have time to go back one more time, but it might be hairy. Where do you look for others? Let's go look in the cargo hold. I might be able to get a bit of treasure out of this before I finish up. The cargo hold has taken the brunt of the damage from the duel of the Cambiantes, and the small space is difficult to navigate even at the best of times. Is anyone down here? You shout, and you're surprised to hear a shout to the aft. Help! It's hard to see in the darkness, but you think it's a cabin boy, a lad named Jim. I'm coming, you call, and you press onward, despite the way the cargo is tumbled out of its bindings. When you reach him, your stomach tightens. He's wedged beneath a barrel of fresh water. And though it looks like he's been trying to squeeze his way out, he's stuck fast. The ship's shuddering is coming faster now. There's not much time to get back above. I have to leave him. There's no time to save his life and save my own. I use my magic to shoot the barrel in the water, like a wave, or the water in the barrel like a wave. I push it off him. I break open the barrel, let the water out. Barrels are stronger than you'd think. Believe it or not, those are very difficult to actually break. Push it off him. I ain't that strong. Let's see. Am I a wizard? Am I a wizard? Am I a pirate wizard? Let's try it. I use my magic. You can't focus on the incantation. Ooh. I'm not a wizard. Rest in peace, Jim. Sorry, buddy. You can't focus on the incantation. The ship is falling to pieces around you. The hole bursts and the water hits you like a club, throwing you off your feet. As water floods to a hole, throwing you away from the cannonball, you crack your sword against another barrel. You can just make it out of the hole, and you realize your only chance to survive is swimming through it. You hope that Jim will make it despite the odds, but you can't save him. You'll be lucky if you can save yourself. Sorry, Jim. You dive into the incoming stream and pull yourself around on the outer hole, scraping your hands against the barnacles. Then you stroke upwards towards where you can see the sun reflecting on the surface. For a moment, you think that it's too far, that despite everything, you're going to sink to your death. The huge black hand floats down the water and drags you up. You gasp for air, and Caesar Lord grins. I wondered where you had gone, Bartolome, he says, and his relief is almost palpable, despite the lightness of his expression. Permission to come on board, you ask wearily? And Caesar hauls you without further fuss into the dinghy he and several of your crewmates are rolling. The wrecks of two ships finally sink below the horizon as your dinghy arrives at the port several hours later. There may have been a few times when you've been happier to have solid ground beneath your feet, but you're hard pressed to think of one. Captain Blackbeard is issuing orders to his remaining crew, docked much farther down. You see Briar doing the same to hers. You've lived to fight another day, but it looks like there will be no escape from your contract with Blackguard yet. His sharp eye finds you in the crowd, and he gives you a solemn nod. So even if you still have to work for him, it's possible your situation will improve. Possible. So here you are, back in the port you left earlier today. If the captain has any kindness in his soul, which you doubt, you'll be headed to Black Dog for a drink or some music. You can always hope. Alright, so that was chapter 1 of Choice of the Pirates. Like I said, it's basically a book in game format. You got your stats. Check it out. You got stats right here, where you got some achievements up there, but you got your name, moniker, all this stuff, skills, which pistols and swords, 63%. I am just that great. I'm not a wizard. Yeah, it ain't happening. I'm not a wizard, Harry. I'm sorry, Jim. He's dead because of my lack of magical talent. I'm honorable, I got goodwill, and I'm a pirate. I got 10 doubloons to my name, and these are my relationships. Landlubber's Guide to the Terms, and we don't need that. Yeah, so that was chapter 1 Choice of Pirate. I hope you all enjoyed. It's a very fun game, to me at least. I've always enjoyed these choose your own adventure type things, especially when I was a kid just reading them. And for me, this is just the evolution of that. Try it out if you get a chance. It's on Steam, very cheap, and just sure and fun to play. Until then, I hope to see y'all in the next episode, and hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.